minutes delay. I had cat stuff to also sort through. And as you know, I want to make sure they're all sorted before we begin our work today. So in the previous video, I gave you a little bit of a condensed version of what I would normally do with Tier 23, just because there's so many energetic shifts and alignments that are coming through between now and the 19th of December and then beyond that. Literally what is happening is that we are all being asked to collectively walk across a particular energetic threshold. Now, a lot of you have been asking me, well, how do we prepare for this threshold? What do we actually do? And, if you've been following me, you know that, well, I've been talking about this shift, and everyone worth their salt has been talking about this shift in a way that actually allows people to prepare for it beforehand. So literally what you would be doing now would be the sum product of what you have been working through, especially with these 3 years of Saturn in Capricorn now about to end. So this is the frequency, this is the vibration of culmination. The way you prepare for it now is not exactly to prepare for it, but to actually allow everything that you have been working on and working through to come together at this extremely pivotal point of time. So, it's not going to be a surprise what emerges, because all of us who are on the right frequency, who are on the right vibe, have been, kind of doing the work, kind of paving the way to allow whatever change that needs to happen. Now, yes, I know there are people who are trying to say, yes, but when this conjunction happens and that conjunction happens, new energy comes in and this and that. But that is one of the policies, I would say, surrounding the age of Aquarius. What needs to come through has already existed very, 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 very long time ago. None of this is new. All of these are things that we are simply remembering and learning how to re-access innately in a different way. So a lot of people have a very kind of formalistic, mechanical way of thinking about, well, what do I do with this? How do I make the energy go this way? And that's the thing. Aquarian energy has always been there. What is happening is that all of us are beginning to open our eyes so that we can actually receive it. That is the shift. The energy of the divine has always been there. We are just allowing ourselves to open up to it in new ways. So in a practical sense, what I wanted to focus on are some of the practical things that you can do to be preparing for these shifts. And what are some of the more metaphysical concerns or flags that we need to be more aware of? Okay? So first of all, at a practical level, grounding is essential. This is a time where, and I know I've been having a couple of days of extremely high vibe stuff, which is great. To be able to just, use this energy in a productive way rather than going off and being a space cadet somewhere. You might get a high, but that doesn't do much. So practical things of grounding involve just working with your body, whether it's dancing, whether it's exercise, whether it's sitting in nature, whether it's eating, foods that are very rooty and earthy, whether it's chanting something that helps you ground, whatever you need to do, make sure that you have that basis, you have that foundation to do whatever it is that you are doing. Think about the energy of lightning as it strikes the ground. Brought to the earth. And that's very much what we in our physical bodies are doing. And that's what people talk about when they talk about DNA activations and transformations. They're literally saying that our physical bodies are learning to take in more light. So that is why grounding is such an essential practice. So that's point number one. Point number two is to make sure that you are with the right people. So, in the past 3 years, I would be very surprised if you had not already been doing the work to identify the people who vibe with you, who mutually can have a productive experience together, and the people who don't. As I said in my last video, there's no more time for the bullshit. There's no more time to be polite. There's no more time to be nice about people who want your energy because you are a light and they don't want to do the work to cultivate it in themselves. So point number two is about managing your environment and managing the people or objects or energies in your environment that simply do not align with the work that you are doing at present. Because when you actually of that vibe is a lot more intense than if you do it alone. And that's why it's all about finding your group, finding your soul family, finding the people who support you, whom you equally and also support. That's point number two. Point number three is easy. Because of the way the collective has been programmed, because of the way astrological information has been distorted, it is very easy to confuse the energies of Aquarius and Pisces. So a lot of the times you do see people talking the talk of between the two. Right now, as I mentioned in the previous video, we are still very much in the influence of the eclipse that has just passed. In fact, we're also going to be seeing the sun squaring Boris, the asteroid that deals with the false light, tomorrow. So these energies of falseness, of duplicity, of things that are mimicking the light, of things that are, trying to get people onto paths that are not exactly in tune with the age that we are walking into. This is where all of us need to, in our own ways, be saying no to collective aspects of illusion, delusion, and Maya. So at a metaphysical level, that is where I would say, in addition to grounding, in addition is conducive for the work that you want to do. The third point is to actually allow yourself to metaphysically discern. Now, a lot of the times when people have very high frequency activations or very intense visions, they want to think, yes, it's my third eye opening, my crown chakra has become some ascended being, blah, 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 blah. And that doesn't help. Because the more you want to see yourself in a certain way, the more other frequencies, fields, forms of consciousness, collective thought forms want to present themselves to you. The best way you can actually have a good experience during this is to have no expectation of what it is you want to find. It is to set a clear intention, a clear anchoring in yourself, to experience whatever it is that is most with the divine, however you understand the divine. So when you go through with a very, very clear intention, you do not then come from here. And this is where a lot of the fuck-ups happen. When we have a predetermined idea of what it is we want to see and what it is we want to experience in the name of awakening, consciousness, transcendence, that is when different aspects of universal energy that are not so aligned will come back to mirror that to us. So empty the cup, empty the headspace, empty that desire that wants to see things, to identify. I told you that's what this age is about. And that's the of those mental shackles. Now, one of the things that I have noticed is that there's also a lot of collective ambiguity, and I would say a lot of it is coming through the energy of Boris in Pisces. There's a lot of sudden activations or sudden experiences during sleeping, in dreams, or psychic visions. And I know that for the past few days, I've been doing my best to kind of find a point of calibration and centeredness to all of this, which is why I didn't say this in the previous video. I wanted to do the work first. Because empty talk, intellectualization, just saying this is what you do without doing it is another pile of steaming BS. So, having kind of got the bead on it, I just kind of went, okay, so this is the shifting now. This is where this frequency of illusion is coming in. And this is the message of developing mental clarity that needs to come through. So it's like a two-way thing. Anchor in the heart and keep this clear. Now, yes, there are many tools that you can use to develop that clarity. If you're feeling like your thoughts are very confused and you don't know if what you're seeing is true or not, stuff like smoky quartz can help. Lapis lazuli can help, but it's an activator. So if you already feel kind of vulnerable, maybe you want to switch to something like aquamarine. Yeah, the internet didn't like me saying that. The internet really didn't like me saying that. So another thing that you can also use is, I believe, purple fluoride or rainbow fluoride. Those are other things that you can use. I want you to focus especially around this band of energy and the back of the head and the back of the neck. Psychics, facilitators, people who work in higher dimensional realms need to be extremely clear about that and know that not everything you see, is that rose-tinted picture that, whoever, whatever said it was going to be. As we make this big, profound collective shift, we are also going to be looking at and continuing to unearth layers and layers and layers of shadow. That process does not just go away because Saturn and Jupiter are leaving Capricorn. It means that we now have to do that process in a completely different way. And remember, as Saturn shifts into Aquarius, shortly after that, the moon also shifts into Aquarius. This is why we have to look at the emotional body first before we try to discern things that are happening at a higher level of consciousness and so on and so forth. It is an integrated process. It's not just this, and it's not just this. It has to be a combination of all of the above and who you are in your physical materiality at this point and at this time. So those are the key points that I would say, if you're new to this, if you want some guidance as to what needs to be done right now to make the best of it, this is it. When you try to force any other narrative into it, things get overcomplicated, and we don't need that. The energy of that awakening that we are trying to find is in the earth to begin with. And remember, people make this really weird dichotomy of, oh yes, that's a cosmic celestial planet and we are just here on earth. But remember, if you take one step back, the earth is also something that's just moving in the cosmos. It's all star energy. We just forget that we are also upon a planet that has its own unique cosmic signature. So that's why people are wanting to find the roots and the grounding that is needed to bring all of this into perfect alignment. So that is what I wanted to say, brings clarity as to what needs to be done. Just remember, you don't need to go over the top about this. You don't need to wave some magic wand and then the collective changes. It doesn't work that way. So, it's the basics. Stick to the basics and look at more subtle changes in your emotional body and your mental body. So now we can turn to comments. All right, so let's see who's here. Hello, CNC Music. Hello, VB. Hello, Jessica. Hello, Anthony. Hello, Goddess I Am. Hello, Watchman. Hello, Karine. Hello, Jackie. Hello, Susie Steed. Hi, Angela. Hello, Megan. Nice to see all of you. And I know it's a slightly different crowd because we usually get the American crowd, but I just kind of went, this is what we got to do now. Hello, Gina. Hello, Vanessa. If you guys have any questions, guys, girls, people of different genders, if you have any questions, just let me know. Otherwise, I can kind of wrap this up. So do we have any questions with respect to the material that has just been shared? Giving you a minute to think about it. Jackie says South Africa says I. Hello, South Africa. So anybody? Oh, hello, Day. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. So do we have any questions? Do we have anything that needs answering, or have I covered it up? So giving you a minute. Otherwise, I'm just going to get back to doing my thing, which is listening to songs and grooving about and just looking at the skies and wondering what the heck's going on. Watchman says, Kotashi says hello. Kotashi is a lovely, lovely, lovely doggy. That's good. Hello, Kotashi. Goddess I Am says we. Oh, hang on. VB says, will it really be a shift in terms of the energies we receive that we were wishing to receive from quite some time? It depends where that wish comes from. So, if your wish is something that, you're very intellectually focused on, like your mind thinks this is what you want, then you might get it, but you might also find a lot more baggage around it. It really depends where that wish is coming from. Is that something your soul has really been yearning to find? And have you actually done the work in allowing yourself to find it? So, given the fact I know who you are and we've done a session together, I would say things will be shifting. It will be moving. That's the way I would see it for you at the very least. Jackie says, can I just go with my gut? Absolutely. Just make sure that there's a lot of irritability that's also in the collective right now. So if you're going more so with the gut, just make sure you're not just being kind of prodded or reacted into doing something. So let's see. Gina Maria Rogers says smoky quartz and aquamarine. Yes, good. Dave Bray says, so grateful, music is the medicine. Absolutely. I have discovered that I am actually a fan of disco. I like flamenco disco. I like, space disco. I've been sharing you the link with, Darth Vader team from Star Wars. It's fantastic. Disco is my friend right now. Jessica Smitson says, I'm practicing the idea of being the hollow reed. Any tips? Space empty. Jessica, I don't mean to pick at this, but this is a perfect example of what I said, to discern between the energies of Pisces and Aquarius. Aquarian energy does not work with the concept of the hollow rod. Piscean energy requires you to flush yourself out so that something else can come in. So from my perspective, the goal is not emptying. The goal is actually being. Being that which you are is what the collective needs you to be. That's how I would address that question. Goddess I Am says we will be face to face ourselves. Yes. Dua Akram says, hello, priestess. Glad to catch you alive. Thank you. Angela says, do you believe this 12/21 is actually the December 2012 Mayan time? No. Anthony Gumball says, best stones for grounding, smoky quartz, and aquamarine at this time. Karine says, I'm feeling so exhausted. Phew. It's not your chart, honey. It's collective. VB says, thanks. Evie says, hi, Dr. B. What do you think of using sandstone selenite? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's a wonderful stone. It's a beautiful stone. It's one of my favorites. Jackie says, your gut's never done you wrong. My dream's been showing me things. Go with your gut if you feel it's safe. Anthony says, I love disco. 23 Dragon Live says, I love disco. Excellent, excellent. Jessica says, I'm so grateful I asked this question. It's just what I needed to hear. Thanks. Jackie says, yes, you're right. I'm a Pisces with Capricorn moon. Most of you have something in Pisces or Capricorn, because otherwise you wouldn't be talking to me. Or Sagittarius. I got lots of them. I got lots of them. Okay, so Evie Love sends this. Hello. Susie says, I might have missed a bit at the beginning, but you often talk about doing due diligence. I am not entirely sure I know what that means, though I think you have explained. I need to listen again. Doing due diligence means asking questions, not just from external sources, but more so from internal sources. So it's kind of like a two-way. It's kind of like a two-way thing. You have to actually be willing to question some of your perceptions and decisions without just assuming that what you see is what there is. Angela says, are you open from readings? Yes, not today though, because I feel that this is a time where everyone needs to stand on their own feet as best as possible. Jackie says, thank you and blessings. Most welcome. Megan, any tips? Pisces. Oh, Chiron in Pisces. Oh boy, Chiron in Pisces. Definitely dreamtime protection. Knowing where you are, dreamtime protection. Gina Maria Rogers, Sag, Sun, Pisces, Moon, Aqua rising at 5 degrees. Oh boy. Jackie Coates says, Sag, oh gosh, my mom, besties in Scorpio. To you, nice to see you. So we are just kind of wrapping up. I've just kind of been pushing more so the energy of the kind of grounded human discernment that is required. Yes, the previous video was more about getting that high vibe. And this video is more about learning to sediment, learning to allow it into your being and to figure out how to, filter what is needed and what is not needed. Drea says, hi, just tuning in from Oakland, California, US. Lovely to see you. Honestly, I'm just about to sign off. So, hopefully that covers the basic questions that, need to come up at this time. And yeah, I will see all of you next time. And take care. Very many blessings. Lots and lots and lots of love to all of you. And for those of you who just arrived, do go back to the beginning. There's a lot of material and a lot to feel through. And yeah, ciao, ciao for now. Bye.